Thanks for checking out our channel today. Today we are outside. We are going to dig, divide, and replant my rhubarb patch. Our rhubarb patch is along the garden fence. And you can see here that there's a tree grown up in front of it, and it's just gotten bigger and bigger and providing more and more shade. We've also have some storage for telephone poles there, you see. All of that providing shade for rhubarb, and rhubarb needs full sun. And so we have not had good rhubarb for the last couple years. So my plan is to get this dug up. Hopefully they haven't started to grow yet. You're normally supposed to do it in the fall or in the very early spring, before the rhubarb plants have started coming up, before the stalks have started coming up. We've had unseasonably warm weather for about a week or so right now, and I feel like they're going to start growing here, and so I need to get something done. We will be getting some more cold weather, I'm sure, but if I can get it done now while the ground is soft and get them in the ground where they're supposed to be, that'll be great. So I've already gathered some supplies. I went and got a whole bunch of dried leaves from elsewhere on our place to use as mulch. I've also gathered some comfrey from our comfrey patch. We haven't used much of our comfrey, so the comfrey is just laid over every year, and all that goodness has gone down into the soil. So I gathered some of the soil also. If you don't know, comfrey is what a lot of people call green manure, because it has a lot of nutrients that are necessary for growing plants. So I'm going to mix that in the hole where I put the rhubarb, and I'm going to add some of the dried comfrey in there too. And then I'm going to plant my rhubarb, and I'm going to mulch around it with the leaves. So let's go. This is going to be the new home for most of the rhubarb along that garden fence line. You can see to the east where the sun rises, the sun will come up and it'll get full sun all day. Now there is a tree here that I might have to have Dan trim up a bit. My holes are dug. Can already taste that rhubarb sauce, rhubarb pie, strawberry rhubarb jam. You want to find the rhubarb, and just as I suspected, those little pink caps, those are already shoots coming up. So you want to dig about 6 inches deep around the rhubarb plant. This looks like a big old one. And then we'll be dividing it. You've got a whole bunch of smaller rhubarb plants here, and here's the big root. It gets kind of woody as it gets older, so you might actually need like a hatchet to break this apart, but I can plant 2 small ones in one hole as well. Clear all the grass out of here. But we want to go ahead and get these in the ground as soon as possible. You don't want to leave them out too long. So that's what the rhubarb looks like. All right, I want you to see this. I ended up with way more than I thought I was going to have. But you see the pink shoot and all of the nice, really nice roots. What you want to do when you're dividing and replanting is make sure you've got, 2 or 3 good shoots and a good root system going. That's what you're going to plant and start a new one. But it's clear to me now that this rhubarb needed to be divided, and so what I'm going to do is, when you know it needs to be divided, is when it starts coming up with like spindly stalks. stalks that aren't thick or tall. And so what I think I'm going to do is put some of these back in the original holes, because it's very possible that they will now thrive where they are, and I really don't want to waste them anyway. So I'm going to put some back in the original holes, and we'll just see what happens. All right, I do not want these rhubarb roots to dry out before I plant them, so in goes a little bit of the comfrey patch dirt. Now a really nice looking rhubarb sample. We want the little shoots to be facing up. Okay. Put that back. Might have to have a little more comfrey dirt. And tamp that down, but we want the shoots to be out of the ground. Ooh, I think I might have broken that one. Doggone it. But he'll come back. We do want to tamp it down. Make sure it's in there well. Okay. And I'm going to do this 7 more times, and then we will mulch. Okay, you can see my root set is planted. I've laid some of the comfrey stock around here. All right, I am pretty proud of this. We are all mulched. I try to do kind of a thick mulch around it because I don't want the grass growing up and choking these plants that are trying to establish themselves. I'm also going to come down here and give them a drink later on, just to get them a little bit started. The ground was still quite moist, but I'll give them a little drink, give them a little head start on everything. We won't be harvesting the rhubarb this year. We need to let it get established. So I'm going to let it come up, let it grow, let it go to seed, and then we'll see what we have next year. So that's what I did today. What did you do today? Let me know in the comments. Have you started your seeds yet? That's my next step. Next week we're going to be talking about green coffee beans and how to roast your own for about half the price. We hope you enjoy watching us try to build our homestead. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, please leave them below. We'd love to hear from you. Have a great day.